Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi branch in New Jersey held its first free dental clinic, inviting TIMA members from Long Island to join them. Tzu Chi volunteers in China help a cerebral palsy sufferer in Liancheng seek medical treatment. Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital works with a biotech firm to develop new treatment for sufferers of Parkinson's disease. The Tzu Chi branch in New Jersey of the United States recently hosted its first free dental clinic. The clinic was small, treating 47 patients, but the medical volunteers were happy to provide the best service possible.
The Tzu Chi branch in New Jersey of the USA recently hosted its first dental clinic. They invited the New York and Long Island Medical Association to join them as well. Some residents drove over an hour to participate in the clinic.
My friend told me about the clinic and that they would do teeth cleaning. I thought that'd be great, and I also had one tooth that was a bit painful. I wanted them to take a look.
In the United States, the cost of seeking dental treatment can be exceedingly high. Underprivileged and even blue-collar families are often unable to afford treatment. Tzu Chi was happy to take the opportunity to offer these families free dental checks.
There was one fellow who hadn't been to a dentist in 16 years. Today, when I saw him, I explained his condition using a translator. I told him I hope he will keep his teeth clean and also get his cavity filled as soon as possible.
Many patients were nervous about seeing the dentist, but volunteers who joined for the event did their best to ease the anxiety of patients.
Some family members were waiting for a long time, but there were volunteers looking out for people, asking questions and easing their worries about patients' procedure. It made us feel very warm and welcome.
At this clinic, every dentist had 2 assistants to help with procedures, ensuring every patient received the best possible care and service.
I look forward to next time. I think it's a wonderful project, and everybody is just so warm and friendly, and it's just wonderful to help.
Everyone works so hard, but we're all very happy to be here. No matter how early or how hard the work, we're just incredibly happy to help.
Although this clinic only saw 47 patients, everyone received the best service and left with a feeling of familial warmth and love. Doctors and volunteers are all looking forward to the next opportunity to care for this community.
Also in the United States, after a large apartment building recently caught fire in Queens, New York, Tzu Chi worked with the Red Cross to care for the families who lost their homes. Recently, the Tzu Chi Foundation provided disaster victims with checks for financial support.
In order to help the victims of a recent fire, the original plan was to distribute cash cards to victims. However, the cards have not yet arrived, so volunteers chose to instead offer checks to the residents.
We had clothing and we've taken out it, so the card can help us to get food, to go to the laundry, to get our clothes clean and stuff, so we appreciate it.
Support each other, especially in this distress time, and we're hoping there'll be more supporting foundation come up with such great people that founded the Tzu Chi Foundation.
One recipient was already familiar with Tzu Chi because her hometown in Ecuador, after being struck by an earthquake, was also helped by Tzu Chi.
I'm sorry, I'm with a little tears. I'm so happy. I'm so thankful for all that. In this kind of situation that I need to receive some help. Right. And that is amazing. People that I don't know, people that is giving me support, help.
Many residents are overcoming their grief with laughter. Even though people may have lost their material possessions, with the support from others, they are not losing hope.
Everybody got out alive, which is a miracle in itself. Just got to be grateful. It just hurts because you work so hard and and then you lose it all.
I'm going to keep coming to see if I can offer my service. Yes. I need to give back.
Despite the tragedy, this community still comes together with a positive spirit to celebrate this young girl's birthday in style.
In China, Tzu Chi volunteers from Xiamen have been caring for an 11-year-old girl in Liancheng County who suffers from cerebral palsy. Xie Hanyu was abandoned by her parents when she was born. Fortunately, her adoptive parents treat her like their own child and have been seeking medical assistance for her. Recently, Tzu Chi volunteers brought Xie to receive medical treatment in Xiamen, hoping that she can get better soon.
For many children, leaving home to take a journey may be a joyous thing to do. But for Xie Hanyu, who suffers from cerebral palsy, she naturally feels anxious on her trip to Xiamen, where she will receive a medical treatment.
I'm really very happy. I'm very thankful for your care. You have made things very convenient for her, and you took very good care of us. Thank you all.
11-year-old Xie Hanyu was abandoned when she was born. Fortunately, her adoptive parents treat her as their own child. After she was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, her family borrowed money and spent almost all of their money looking for medical assistance. But her health condition didn't seem to improve.
Since Hanyu is with us, this means we're destined to form a good affinity with each other. No matter what, I'll try my best to do what I can do to help her, so that I won't regret anything in the future.
In 2015, when a flood occurred in Liancheng County, Tzu Chi volunteers reached out to provide care for flood victims. Because of this, Xie was able to receive Tzu Chi's assistance to seek medical treatments in Xiamen. Beside the company of volunteers on her way to the hospital, a kind-hearted driver was also very devoted to helping her.
I always think Tzu Chi is nice because they especially help those in need. Seeing that you guys gave all your love, we also want to contribute our share of love as well.
Since Xie was hospitalized at the Xiamen Maternity and Child Health Care Hospital, Tzu Chi volunteers have been visiting her every day to support her and give her adoptive mother, who looks after Xie, a chance to take a break.
You should thank everyone. You say I'll be brave and strong. You say I'll also send this love to everyone, okay? How will you express your gratitude? You say I want to say thanks to everyone. Right, be grateful.
In the following days, when Xie undergoes surgery, volunteers will be there by her side and continue to care for her.
Also in China, in recent years, the population of children of migrant laborers has been on the rise in Suzhou, and their health has become a concern. Tzu Chi began a care program for the children of migrant workers. Recently, the 4th session was held, and volunteers from Nanjing and Shanghai also joined the event.
In Suzhou, there has been a recent increase of children of migrant laborers, often exceeding the number of children born locally. Last year, Tzu Chi began a care program to conduct health checks for them with each session, looking after the health of 200 to 400 first graders.
About 30% are nearsighted. It's important for children to get checkups regularly, as parents often neglect this part of their health.
Not only are many of the children nearsighted, but lots of them have cavities as well.
When you go back home, remember to brush your upper teeth and your back teeth.
Also caring about the children's health, there are volunteers from Nanjing and Shanghai helping to prepare a nutritious lunch.
This is the first time I felt stressed. Thankfully, more experienced sisters are guiding me. I feel happy to learn as I go.
以前好像吃饭是感觉是他做饭嘛，我就感觉是应该的，就是，现在是要有感恩的心啊，对吧？不是。
One person cannot do it all. You must work together with others. For example, this volunteer from Yaonan, he's 75 already, but he not only cleaned up the bathroom, but also washed dishes.
The more these volunteers do, the more happiness they gain, and in turn also surround these children with warmth and love.
As Tzu Chi volunteers carry out their environmental protection mission, many have made new friends at recycling stations. Today we'll take you to a recycling point in Keelung, where a group of elderly volunteers have joined hands to protect the environment.
People have gathered under the overhang to carry out one mission wholeheartedly. Some recycling volunteers have become very close, just like sisters. Then there's also 85-year-old grandma Yang Lai Ai, who's always beaming with joy.
I want to help save the earth. I have good hands and feet. Let me live for a few more years so I can continue to help the master. The master works very hard. My kids are quite filial, so I am very content.
Another volunteer, Zhou Jingchi, originally opposed to his mother's volunteer work. However, he became even more dedicated to recycling than his mother since 3 years ago. After the truck is driven to the new recycling point, volunteers fill out the linen bag and tie it with a rope before descending it. They easily completed this physically challenging task. Joining others at the recycling point, the volunteers have joined a big family.
In our next report, we'll meet a devoted Tzu Chi volunteer from Kaohsiung. Lin Qingyun was diagnosed with a brain tumor many years ago, and after she recovered from brain surgery in 2004, she met Master Zheng Yan in person. Mrs. Lin later started volunteering with Tzu Chi. She recently received the Outstanding Mother Award from the Kaohsiung city government. Unfortunately, she passed away in February this year due to brain hemorrhage. Her family helped her fulfill her last wish to donate her organs.
This optimistic woman is Lin Qingyun, who obtained the Outstanding Mother Award from the Social Affairs Bureau of Kaohsiung City Government last year. She seized every moment to give selflessly every day.
After checking out of the hospital, I dedicate most of my time as a volunteer because our home is nearby the Hojing Creek, so we are trying what we can to protect the creek.
Mrs. Lin also cared for the underprivileged and entertained the elderly. Unfortunately, she was diagnosed with a brain tumor many years ago. In February this year, she fainted suddenly and later passed away after suffering from a severe hemorrhage in her left brain.
She once fainted in 2004, but we saved her life at that time. Actually, I am very grateful for God for giving us 13 more years to accompany each other.
After undergoing brain tumor removal surgery that year, she visited Master Zheng Yan in person.
She said with Master's blessings, she had recovered from her illness, so she joined Tzu Chi.
She acted on the Master's advice to volunteer alongside Tzu Chi. Before she passed away, she even pledged to donate her body or organs.
At least we could fulfill her last wish, to donate her organs.
I think my mother is full of blessings because the organs she donated at the end helped the less fortunate. I am very touched and proud of her.
After she passed away, her family helped her fulfill her last wish to donate her heart, liver, lung, and kidney to save 5 different patients. To remember her selfless devotion, her family, alongside Tzu Chi volunteers, held a solemn memorial ceremony to say farewell to her.
In our next piece, we'll learn a bit about the state of treatment for sufferers of Parkinson's disease. We'll visit the Parkinson's Treatment Center at the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital to hear about treatment methods. But first, we'll meet some patients suffering from Parkinson's and hear about their struggles.
Riding a scooter and changing to the metro like any average commuter is 50-year-old Jiang Li Hua. However, Miss Li has been suffering from Parkinson's disease for the past 17 years.
When I get on the subway, I am unable to stand still that way. People will give me their seat. Then the medicine started having effect, and I had to stand up. Everyone's eyes will be watching me. It's a very difficult thing to go through.
More than worrying about the reactions of others, Miss Li worries about losing her electricity. If her daughter were not by her side, she would be unable to leave the house. Thanks to the help of others, she has even joined dance class for leisure.
好像年轻的10岁，同事里边都是病友嘛，大家都了解你的状况，感觉比较自在一点。
These students are all calling their class leader, who became sick later than others. 4 years ago, when she was about to enjoy retirement, physical problems developed.
I was quite aware that I had a problem. I read lots of books to figure out why I developed this problem. I always assumed there's no way I would end up with a disease like this.
The causes and origins of Parkinson's disease are still not well understood. However, with medication, the worst symptoms can be controlled for 10 or more years. In fact, Parkinson's is not a disease which only affects the elderly. Take 37-year-old Wu Xiaodong from Shanghai, for example. He has been living in a nightmare of being unable to control his own body for the past 5 years.
It was taking such a long time to see doctors in Shanghai. His condition was not improving, it was only getting worse.
He chose to come to Hualien, Taiwan to seek treatment at Hualien Tzu Hospital's Parkinson's Treatment Center, which has been in operation for 15 years. Over 860 cases of Parkinson's have been treated here. The causes of Parkinson's are still not fully understood, only that it causes degradation to the nervous system, resulting in slow and uncoordinated actions. There is no complete cure, only treatment involving medicines and deep brain stimulation.
Sometimes medicines have no effect. Sometimes there are unforeseen side effects. In that case, then we will consider using a brain implant. About 50% of patients will show improvements. Generally, with just a bit of medicine, most patients will be able to improve their motor skills and reduce their shaking.
With cutting-edge advancements in medical science, doctors are cooperating with biotech firms in hopes that one day medicines will be able to repair the damaged nerve cells of Parkinson's patients.
For patients in a more severe condition, we may consider adipose stem cell transplants. With stem cell transplants, we can possibly stimulate the secretion of more dopamine, which will help the nervous system function.
The adipose stem cell implant treatment is currently undergoing clinical trials and awaits approval from the Food and Drug Administration before it will be available for the market. Doctors and patients are both hopeful for the potential of this new development in treating Parkinson's.
In another medical story, we'll see how Chinese medicine can help people suffering from pigmentary purpuric dermatosis, or itchy blotted skin. We'll meet a 76-year-old man, Mr. Yo, who is suffering from a serious case. Since he could not cure the problem with Western medicine, Mr. Yo paid a visit to Taichung Tzu Hospital's Chinese medicine department.
These hands with their itchy bright red spots belong to 76-year-old Mr. Yo. The condition is known as pigmentary purpuric dermatosis.
When there are sudden changes in the climate, especially in winter, they itch really badly. It's so bad at night, I often can't sleep.
It is not only his hands, but about 80% of his body is also in a similar condition. Mr. Yo first tried treatment using Western medicine, but with poor results. After his problem kept returning, he made a trip to the Chinese medicine department at Tzu Hospital in Taichung.
When a lot of blood spots appear like this, affecting skin pigment, we can recognize it as purpura.
Chinese medicine doctors determined that Mr. Yo suffered from a deficiency of yang in his physical constitution, which caused his skin problems.
After the diagnosis, the doctors said I need to improve my physical constitution. Without doing that, there would be no way to improve my skin problem.
Mr. Yo began taking a special medicine to improve his body's internal constitution, along with a mild lotion to apply externally. After 4 months, he had finally overcome a problem that has troubled him for years. Doctors emphasized that there are 2 different varieties of skin problems like Mr. Yo's.
It is more common in elderly people and in males, and it will be usually itchier for them. For women who develop the problem, it is usually during menopause.
For people who suffer from PPD, it may become itchy with temperature changes, especially in the winter. If you have itchy purple spots that last a long time, you may be suffering from the disease purpura. In either case, Chinese medicine may be able to help the condition significantly.
In Malaysia, to celebrate Tzu Chi's 51st anniversary, pilgrimages were made to the Jingsi Hall and the Educational Center. A total of 1,350 people took part in the events, sincerely chanting the Buddha's name as they bowed.
To celebrate Tzu Chi's 51st anniversary, Tzu Chi volunteers in Penang held pilgrimages in both the Jingsi Hall and Educational Center. A total of 1,350 people joined the processions, chanting the Buddha's name as they bow. It is also a special occasion for Tzu Chi's education mission because it is the opening of the educational center. Many graduates have joined the pilgrimage to deliver their best wishes.
今天看到他这样子的资历在我的眼前，其实心里非常的感慨。
I feel very touched seeing the educational center in front of me. I'm very happy too. Finally, it has been built. It takes many people's love and efforts to build the place brick by brick.
Over at the Jingsi Hall, among the worshippers is a volunteer who joined the procession despite her mobility issues.
我就怕，因为我自己在后面那边有一个肿瘤。
I have a tumor on my back and it hurts terribly. Therefore, I was afraid I could not complete the journey. However, today I joined the procession. I vowed that I will work till my last breath. I must complete the mission.
Some Indian residents also sincerely pray for the world in the procession.
This experience made me so peaceful. And then this morning is make me so energetic.
This boy also follows his parents' footsteps without hesitation.
The first time I joined the pilgrimage is when my parents asked me to. During the procession, I thought about helping people when I bowed.
As the sun rises, while chanting the Buddha's name, the worshippers continue with their firm steps and clear minds.
In Taiwan, parent-children activities gave participants a chance to experience the joy of folk games at the Tzu Chi Sanchong grounds. Some disabled artists also gave performances there.
The heavy wheelchairs seemed to be lighter, as if they were part of the performers. The disabled artists from the Hunjiang Mixed Arts Troupe showed their vitality in front of the audience.
We hope to share with these children, these performers' stories and spirit. They overcome their limitations to keep going forward and never give up when facing obstacles in their life.
Parent-child activities held in the Sanchong Tzu Chi grounds, with many parents and children being astonished by the stunning Diablo performance.
In the process of training, these children work very hard and they spend a lot of time practicing each movement. Of course, they feel frustrated at times. However, it is because of their success and their sense of accomplishment that makes them learn to be brave and strong when they face difficulties next time.
There are many charity groups in society who also care for these underprivileged children and youngsters. So we think if we can cooperate with them, it will be great, because we can do good deeds together.
Nowadays, as many children focus too much on electronic products, they rarely have the chance to experience folklore and folk games. This activity is expected to help children regain their innocent happiness and make their childhood more meaningful.
In Taiwan, Da'ai Kindergarten in Kaohsiung recently held a fire drill. During the drill, kindergarteners not only practice escaping from a smoke-filled room, they also try using fire extinguishers that spray water. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.